Hello, everybody. Tonight, thank you all for sharing with me once again. Thank you for dropping by in this space of intrigue. We're going to get up close and personal on tonight for intrigue. For all of you that have been sharing with me all week long, listen, we are already at day number 7. 11 chapters in 11 days. Intrigue has 11 chapters to the entire book, and we're already on the 7th day, guys. So listen, thank you for sharing with me. Thank you for dropping by. Thank you for coming to enter this space. If you already have the book, thank you so much for getting the book and being a part of this intriguing conversation. For those of you that don't have the book, I'm just going over a few house rules, if you will, and I know as I go over these rules, we'll have people entering into the space, so I'm going to speed it up, okay, so we can get through the house rules and get right into our chapter number 7. It's not very long, guys. It's a short chapter, and you already know that we go over our review first before we move forward into the next chapter. But intrigue, shifting your paradigm to produce positive, life-changing results, and I am so glad that you all are doing the shift. You're making the shift. Whether you made the shift already or you're making the shift, I am so happy that you have shifted those paradigms, that you have tore down all of those old belief systems, those generational curses, those traumatic curses, all of the stuff that we deal with, our trauma in life, and all of the things that we were taught that we thought was actually the real deal. And then when we grew older and we were much more mature, we found out that there's not, all of this is not the truth, right? Okay, so we're going to do away with the ancient history of the paradigm so we can renew our mind and renew our thinking, so we can make the shift and transition. So those of you who are interested in receiving a copy of the book, if you haven't already received it, you can get it at maryjaeenterprise.com. Go right there to my website. You will find the book there, and also the reviews of those who have already read the book and left their reviews there. So it'll walk you through some of that. But listen, you don't have to waste a lot of time. You can go straight there and get the book, or you can go directly to amazon.com. You'll be able to receive the book there and have an intriguing conversation with us, chapter by chapter, page by page. We want to gel tonight, guys. Are you ready? Are you ready to be intrigued just a little further? Okay, so we're going to continue on. Those of you that have already received the book, thank you so much, guys. Thank you for supporting. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for all of the love and hearts and likes that you continue to share. Thank you for stopping by, even in this space. And for those of you that were coming by replay, thank you for coming in to listen in, because you do not have to have the book to join the space and to listen in on tonight. So, but if you haven't, I'm so delighted that you do. Thank you for intriguing me by getting the book. Okay, chapter number 1 is market your product. We already know that we're going from our professional side to our personal side to our private side. There are 3 sides of us, everybody. There's 3 sides all the time. There's 3 sides, and we use them in certain arenas. That's why we deal with mind, body, and spirit, right? All right. So we're dealing with the mental, the emotional, and the physicality of all aspects of our essence. That's who we are. We're all parts. So market your product deals with the essence of who you are. To market your product, you are your marketing billboard. You are your essence, right? How you enter a room, the way that you enter into a space, your posture, the way you speak, the way you stand, the way you present yourself has everything to do with your brand. So you are marketing your product, whether you believe it or not. And it doesn't mean that you have to have a business to market your product. When you open your mouth, you're marketing your product. When you walk into a space, into a room, you're marketing your product. You're wearing your label. It's not the designer label that's inside the clothing. It's actually what's on the outside of the clothing is what is being read across the front. Okay, guys, so listen, we're going to go on to the next chapter, which is make the investment. For many of us, we invest in so many things. We don't invest in ourselves. We don't take the time to invest in the things that we should be investing in as it relates to just our being, taking time to make deposits in us, mental clarity, physicality, whether we're taking care of ourselves and some exercise or fitness goals, whatever your mindset goals are, have you invested in those things? So that's what make the investment is all about. Make sure you do that for yourself, because you're worth every bit of it. Every bit of it, you're worth it. And then we have manage your time. I told you guys that this is one of my favorite chapters, manage your time. We're dealing with our time. Time is so precious. It is one of the most precious commodities that you can never replace. You can't get it back. Time does not stand still, guys. But guess what? Time, even though we talk about it, time is not on our side. Actually, we know there's an old song, time's on my side, but time is not really on your side, because if you waste your time, you'll lose it. But guess what? Even through all of that, time is still your friend. Time tells, time teaches, time speaks. Yes, time is still your friend, but make the best of your time, because as I said, it's a commodity that is so valuable and so precious. You don't want to waste it. You want to maximize every moment. You want to maximize all your potential, and you want to make the best of all of your time. And those who value you actually value your time. All right. So then we're going into the chase. That's chapter 4. Chasing after love, chasing after all of those things that are temporal, looking for love in all of the wrong places, chasing after material gain. All of that stuff is just going to fade away. But the thing that we should be chasing is after our purpose. Chase after our goals. Chase after our visions and our dreams. And when you begin to chase after those, when you tap into your untapped potential, to understand your purpose, that you are valuable and you are worth every part of everything that you are searching for and longing for, begin to search after the Creator, the one that have created all of the things. And I tell you, when you begin to chase hard after the Creator, those very things that you're longing for, thirsting for, will begin to chase after you. Yes, they will begin to track you down and sift you out. Yes, they will begin to look for you and search for you high and low. And guess what? That chase, as long as you're chasing after the one that created you, all of those things that you've been longing for will begin to chase you down and overtake your life. That's what the chase is all about. And now we're talking about know your size. You all know that was a hot topic. That was a hot subject, knowing your size. Know what feels right, what fits right, what looks right, what mesh with you, what gels with you. How do you partner with one? How do you transition from coming out of the I want to say out into the arena, into your intimate space? Do you really know who you are? Do you know your size? Do you know what fits right, what feels right, what mesh with you? That's what know your size is all about. Knowing your size is understanding the rhythm and the harmony of two people coming together in one flesh. That's what knowing your size is all about, guys. Understand, know your size, read the chapter, go a little deeper. If you want more, find out, go back and look at our reading and review. We discussed know your size. And the next chapter, chapter 6, how big is too big? How big is too big? I don't know. Nothing is too big. Nothing is impossible. Every vision, every goal, every dream, everything you can imagine or think, guess what? It's not too big for your Creator. It's not too big for the one that has given you the vision, the goal, and the purpose. So how big is too big is understanding that do not limit your goals. Do not shrink your vision. Do not put yourself in a box just because someone else cannot identify with your purpose or who you are or why you're doing what you're doing. But understand, once you get a hold of your dream and your purpose, listen, there's nothing too big that your creator cannot handle. And where there is vision, there is provision. He will provide for you. He will send the resources. He would do all that he has called you to do. So don't shrink your vision down for anybody. It doesn't matter if they don't understand it. It was not given to them. That's why it's too big for you, because they can't see you doing it. Guess what? Guess what? If you believe it, you can achieve it. So that's what how big is too big. See, you all thought it was something else. I know you did. But we're talking about shifting your paradigm to produce positive, life-changing results. Okay. All right. Now we're in chapter 7. Now understand this, guys. If you know how the chapter's been going thus far, you should know that this is going to be a really good, juicy chapter 7, sex toys, shifting your paradigm to produce positive, life-changing results. So we want you all, as you all are coming in the space, go share, go tag, go invite someone to connect, to join into this room. Go share with your favorite group, whether it's your women's group or your ministry or whomever, your sisterhood, your brotherhood, your manhood. Go share, because guess what? All of these chapters, the way that they are written, will reach everyone. Married, single, separated, divorced, widow. It doesn't matter who you are, male or female. It's non-denominational. We're breaking down all of those traditional barriers and religious barriers. It's not that. It's not that at all. It's not that. Don't believe that. Okay? Listen. We're going to go into chapter 7, sex toys. We're getting ready to go into it. So get comfortable, get up close and personal, and we're going to go in just a little bit. Go ahead and on and share. Share, guys. Sharing is caring. Invite someone else to join in with us. Hello, Kelly. Hello, gorgeous. Thank you for sharing with me and supporting day by day. I appreciate it. Hello, Valeria. Hello, my love. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for stopping by and supporting me as well. Valeria, you're always there and always asking, when are you going live? I appreciate it because it keeps me ready. It keeps me prepared. Hello, my beautiful Jew, Monique Stock. That's my woman of treasure, everybody. That's my beautiful treasure. Thank you, Monique, for all you do and all your support and everything that you continue to do with me and for me. I appreciate you. So you guys go share, and we're getting ready to go into our reading in just a bit. Okay, you ready? Share, guys, share. Don't be afraid to share. Because we're talking about sex toys. We're going to have an intriguing conversation. We're going to have our reading and review for those who want to review as well and ask questions. So we'll have the Q&A open at the end. And so you can come in and you can ask questions too. I love questions. I do. Because it lets me know that you're listening, and it also gives me an idea of understanding of what you take from what I've just read or what the book is about. So, ask questions. Okay. All right. We're getting ready to go into Intrigue, chapter 7. Let me go ahead. Music for you. Okay, you ready? All right, before we go there, let's take a look at this, guys, and I'll be right back after this. Edible ointments, berries, wine, cheese, all arouses the sexual senses. Yes, that's what sex toys is all about. Everybody has one. You have
to discover which one is yours. See, sex toys is not just about sex. It's not only about whips and chains and all of the things that we hear about, those things that may arouse our pleasure. Sex toys is diving deep into what it is that really turns you on. What is it that allures you, that drives your sexual senses? Sex toys. It's a really good one.
Okay, you ready? You ready? Okay, we're getting ready to go into this discussion of sex toys. Hold on a second. Let me support this down so you all can hear me. All righty. Pause that for a moment. All right, we're getting ready to get into this chapter 7 of sex toys. Let's read, guys. You can find it for those of you that already have the book. Again, it's on page 84, beginning on page 84, and you start the reading right at 85. And those of you that want the book but do not have it, you can go to Mary Jae Enterprise, maryjaeenterprise.com, and receive your copy, or you can go straight to Amazon. So let's go ahead into chapter 7. And it reads: gels, creams, edible ointments and oils, chocolates, berries, nuts, imported wines, and cheese. These are all essential ingredients that stimulates the sexual senses. So many sexual fantasies are not disclosed in the unity of marriage. I have this one. There it is, guys. I'm so sorry about that, but I get annoyed when I see something just sticking about a place. Pardon moi. Okay, let's start here. So many sexual fantasies are not disclosed in the unity of marriage, which may cause a partner to seek satisfaction in other areas, such as pornography, drugs, alcohol, affairs, and even becoming obsessed with work or chores around the house. Everyone is stimulated by something that would ignite their interest, whether it is crossword puzzles, romance novels, shopping, gambling, social media, television, computer games, or food. I know you are surprised by some of the above mentioned items. However, these stimulants are not easily identified. The real issue is when anything is overly indulged. All of the items previously mentioned can become a sex toy. This happens when you replace time spent with each other with a special hobby or habit. A sex toy is anything that helps to stir the emotions and send signals to the brain to stimulate hormones, causing an arousal to the mind and body. You know how exuberating it feels when you find the final word to a crossword puzzle, or, or a great bargain on an awesome pair of shoes, or when you have cravings that dessert and every bite is to your satisfaction. Any sex toy can be rewarding, but it can also become a problem when you cannot be fulfilled rather without it. Anything that has you without you having it can very well become an obsession. It is okay to become obsessed with each other as long as the feeling is mutual. And as long as you are more obsessed with the one that has created you rather than each other. Okay, I'm going to read that again. I want you all to catch this, right? Don't miss any of it. It is okay to become obsessed with each other as long as the feeling is mutual. Let me pause there because I don't want any misunderstanding. When you have two people that have become one, married union, husband and wife, and what love says and what love does, it says, I'm not going to let you outlove me loving you. I'm not going to let you outserve me serving you. And so when you have two people coming together, one is saying, I love you and I'm going to show you. I'm going to serve you and I'm going to show you. I'm going to support you and I'm going to show you. It's not just in words. So it's okay to outserve the person and to receive that back. And as long as you out serving me, you're trying to outlove me, I'm out serving you, I'm trying to outlove you. We're both coming together as one, because when you think of one flesh, when you think of one flesh, you think of yourself. You feel it, right? You feel it, you breathe it, you touch it, you hold it, you think of oneself. And so the same way you want to feel, the same feeling, the same love, the same passion and desire that you want to be extended to you, you have to extend it to your partner as well. So when two people come together, it is okay to become obsessed with each other as long as the feeling is mutual. And as long, listen, as you are more obsessed with the one that has created you rather than each other, I say go for it. When we're talking about as it relates, and I'm gonna go in another lane tonight, as it relates to the word of God, where the Bible says that husband, love your wife as Christ loved the church. Before it get into the area of submission, of being the head, and all of that other stuff that we have just kind of throw together, like all of that together. Before all of that, hello, my beautiful friend Allison. Bless you, woman of God. Before we get into that, as Christ loved the church, so if he loves the church and he gave his only son as a ransom for us all to save us from the world, that's how much he wants you to love your partner. That's how he wants you to love your wife. So before you get ahead of being aggressive and assertive and saying, I'm taking charge because I'm the man of this house, understand all of it. Okay? All of it. Because the man has a vision for his family. The man has a vision for his wife. The man continues to love and provide and protect and pray for his wife or his partner. So understand it all in its entirety. However, it can be very discouraging to be into someone who is not into you and shows very little affection. That's why I said it's okay as long as you're more obsessed with the creator than the one that you're with, because it's nothing like being with someone and being in love with someone and giving all of yourself to that person, all of your love, your time, and your energy to someone who is not even reciprocate. They're not even interested. They're not even showing you the same type of affection that you're showing to them. They're not even giving you all of that time. Maybe they started off in the beginning stroking your fancy and killing you softly. They started all of that stuff in the beginning, but then what happened after that? I tell women all the time, because I empower women, and I tell women all the time, do not market men. You don't market a man, right? You don't market a man. I see sometimes women bae all day posting pictures of bae slave, bae. You don't ever market a man, because let me tell you what happens. You set yourself up for disappointment. You set yourself up for embarrassment. You set yourself up for shame, because while you celebrating that man, now I'm not talking about those who are married, but it can apply to that as well. But I'll need a whole lot more time to get into that, right? When you celebrate and you market your man or woman in that way, and then it fails. I see women that and married couples that would get on and start promoting marriage as soon as they get married, you know. As soon as I'm telling you how to take care of your man, how to cook for him and serve him, and you just been married a week. Come on. Why are you trying to display that? Now, I can see if that's your background, if your background is in public relations, relationship, romance, you're a psychologist, a psychiatrist, that okay. But to jump on there and start giving tips on marriage right away, you're setting yourself up for embarrassment, because you have not even been a wife long enough, or a husband long enough. All right, I know y'all didn't come on to hear all that. Y'all won't hear the sex toys. That's all y'all wanted to hear, right? But listen, we're gonna talk about all of it, because many occasions I see, especially women promoting men on social media, and then their timeline goes flat, and they're not saying anything else. See, I just lost some people. The little people that were coming in, I just lost them. Because real talk, Mary Jae is going to talk real. I'm going to be real all the time. Come on, Allison. See, Allison said, I'm speaking the truth. Yes, yes. let me continue reading, guys. Let me continue reading. Okay? Many marriages use sex as a toy weapon to get even or to punish their mate. Y'all know what I'm talking about, those who've been married or are married. Many marriages use sex as a toy weapon to get even or to punish their mate. What an unfair game to play when sex was designed to reproduce and bring so much pleasure. Sex can relieve stress and tension. It can bring harmony and clarity to insecurities, and it can cause one to become more trustworthy. Let me pause. Let me pause. Please understand that when I was inspired by God to write this, I'm speaking to different people all around the world from all walks of life, right? Get in where you fit in. Because I remember one time particularly, I was doing some teaching, and I had a young lady that also I was counseling separately. And when she heard my teaching as it relates to how do you cater to your man, how do you do this for your husband and serve, and she was shacking up with her boyfriend, and I talked about forgiveness. I talk about coming together for mutual understanding. I talked about mutual submission. She was shacking up with her boyfriend, and she took all of what I was saying and tried to apply those principles to her situation, and it didn't work for her because I was not speaking directly to her. But I understand that this is my take on it. I'm going to say it again, and I'll make this a public disclaimer again. I am divorced. I once was married for 19 years. I'm divorced now. But I am a holy woman that loves God, and I live a holy and abstinence life. So all of what you read through Intrigue has been experiences through the years of experience, being married, years of experience of being a holy woman of God, a mother, right? Um, all of this is through all of that, even through the dating process. through the heartbreak, through the brokenness. This is coming, this, I birthed this from my broken place. And even all of the substance that lies between the pages, you still have to get in where you fit in. I can't talk about flying an airplane, and you hear me teaching about flying an airplane, and you've never been a pilot before, and you go get on behind the plane and think you can fly. You can't do it. Why? Because you're not a pilot, right? So when I'm talking to the married people, if you're not married, it doesn't apply to you. But then when I start talking to the singles, that's where you apply that. But here's the thing: I already know that we're going to have sex regardless if we want to. Whether we're married or separated, divorced, whatever, we're going to have it. So at least I wrote a book that would meet everybody where they are. Okay, let's continue, because I sometimes I have to explain this, because some people will misread it, right? And if somebody jump in on chapter 7 but didn't listen to chapter 1 through 6, they'll miss all of this. Okay, so let's continue. When I talk about marriage, that some people use sex as a toy weapon to get even, to punish their mate, what am I referring to? What am I referring to? I'm referring to when we use marriage, um, sex rather, in marriage as a toy weapon, where we're mad at each other, and then we decide that we're not having sex because I'm upset, or I'm tired, or he's mad, so he done walked out the door and stormed down and gone somewhere, right? So he's withholding it from you, or you withholding it from him, regardless, that we use it like it's a weapon to punish the other partner for whatever it is, right? That's what I'm referring to. That when that was not even the intent. God made sex, and God made sex good. I'm going to say it again. God made sex, and God made sex good. And I believe when you're married, it is very childish and immature to withhold sex from your partner because you're mad. It's immature, it's childish, right? Now, this does not refer to when you have gone through some things, and because I'm talking to us as women, because I know how we are, right? We're stimulated by emotions. We're stimulated through touch. We're stimulated through our feelings, right? So we are emotional creatures. We're emotional feelers. So yeah, you can't just have an argument or talk to me dirty and nasty and ugly and just think that I'm gonna open up myself and open up my portal, and I'm gonna be so happy and excited to be intimate, right? Come on, ladies, I'm helping you out. I'm helping you. I'm not going to leave you out there, right? It's not like I'm a light switch that you can turn me on and off when you're ready. And I just supposed to be ready in the bed, ready for you, with you, because you're my husband. I get it. I get it. I get it. I get it. But can we at least have a mature adult conversation? Now, here's a man. He's not even thinking about talking. He's not even thinking about the conversation that took place before this. Now that he's taking a shower and he's bed, he done forgot all about that. He don't even want to talk about it right now. He just wants sex. He's not even interested in your point of view of what you have to say. So we as emotional feelers, this is where the maturity comes in, because this is the time that you must say, honey, what you just said, I didn't like that. Or what just happened, I didn't appreciate that. Or that hurt my feelings. And I know you want to be intimate right now, but I can't get past that. Can we talk about it just for a moment? Now, if he is that stubborn and selfish and doesn't want to talk about it, all right, and then still want sex. That is the person that I talked about in chapter 7. I'm sorry, not chapter 7. Um in chapter, what chapter was it? Chapter 6, I believe. No, we're in chapter 7 now. And that had to be chapter 5. And how big is too big? Know your size. Rather, know your size, chapter 5. I believe that's the chapter. That's the person that I'm talking about, is stubborn and just want what they want, right? Not even considering your feelings, not considering how you feel or what they did or what they said. That's the person that I was speaking of that is selfish. Now, does it mean that you hold it as a weapon? No. No. We have to reach a level of maturity that we can just kind of like let that go. But let me say this for our gentlemen who would hear this. When that happens, your sex is not as enjoyable as it could have been had you released that and talked about that. If she decides to still continue to have sex with all of this, because we emotional feel is with all of this going on in her head, understanding that you just kind of hurt her, you hurt her emotionally, and now you want to penetrate her physically. Are you out of your mind? Are you serious? That doesn't work that way. It does not work that way. We are emotional feelers, and so we feel things, right? And so at least be mature enough to say, okay, baby, listen, I'm sorry, I hurt you, I didn't mean to. I don't want to carry this through the night. At least caress her, at least hold her, right? At least cuddle with her. Okay? You just can't move on to it and think that she's going to be okay with it. And if you decide to do it anyway, you are a selfish man, and you are an immature man, and you are a man that's not in tune with your spirituality or your growth. You can't be. You can't be. Now, ladies, let me say this. I'm not saying to have a long, drawn out conversation in the middle of the night, because we can talk, right? We're some talkers. We're emotional feelers, and we're talkers. I'm not saying to take it through a long conversation and a sermon and continue on and on. Just deal with those emotions. Deal with those emotions and get back into the rhythm of things. Get back into the bigger picture. Get back into where we are and who we are as one. Remember, one flesh, right? All right, I just threw that in, guys. I just threw that in. Let's get back into this reading. But that's what I mean when I say sex can relieve stress. Understand that. Tension. It can bring harmony and clarity to insecurities. And it can cause one to become more trustworthy. When a woman has sex with her husband, she feels a sense of security. She feels a sense of trust. She trusts more. She feels okay with everything that is going on around her. When a man has sex with a woman, he feels relieved. He feels at ease. He feels like he can go ahead and go to sleep now and wake up and go out there and conquer the world. That's what that makes him feel like. But watch this. When the man have sex with a woman that is not his wife, it makes him not trust more. It can make him feel a little bit more untrustworthy, because this is where all of those emotions and all of those entanglements come in now. When a woman that's not married has sex with a man that she's not married to, it makes her more suspicious. It makes her more concerned. It doesn't do the same thing. When a man have sex with a woman he's not married to, that's when, because this is what happens. That's when all of those personalities come together, all of that, because now you already know some things about the person, about their past, or about somebody before you. Now you're starting to compare. You're starting to wonder. You're starting to ask questions. Oh, how was she? Was she as good? How long you were with her? You see what I'm saying? All of that begin. All of those emotions begin to stir up, and they begin to come to the surface. They begin to come up to the surface. You start wondering who she is and how it was, and why are you asking all of those questions? Why does that really matter, how that other person was to him? How does that make you feel once you know that truth about it? How does it make you feel? Does that make you feel more of a woman? Does that make you feel more secure? Does that make you feel more satisfied? How does it really make you feel? We begin asking all of these crazy questions, and we ask these hard questions that we really don't want the answers for. We ask these questions that we really don't want to know the truth, but somehow we're curious to know. Now listen, what happens now? It brings you into a place where you're competing now. You're not saying you're competing, but you're competing because you want to be more than she was, or he wants to be the man because he feels that he wasn't, because you've already shared so much. Especially us women, we're emotional feelers, so we empty out a whole lot. We talk too much. We share everything, right? Now in the back of his mind, while he is having sex with you, he's thinking about all of the things that you've shared. You don't know that, though. You don't know that. He's processing all of this. And while he's processing it all, it's shaking him. He's not going to say he's been shaken, but it's shaking him. And now he's beginning to look at you in a different light. He's beginning to look at you differently. I'm talking about to all of those who are not married that are having sex. And now that he's looking at you in a little different light, um, sex is not the same. It's not the same for him. And even if that's all he was for it in the beginning, it's still not even that, because now he's in the process of evaluation and elimination. He's evaluating you, all of your essence and who you are and who you said you were. He's processing all of those things that you all share, and now he's making the elimination. He's already checked you off. But women, we process it a little differently. We compare and we compete, then we begin to complain and we begin to express all of what we feel. And now we're processing it, and now these other things are coming into play now. Competitive jealousy, insecurity, our emotions are all over the place, we're scattered. But do you realize that in a marriage union, more sex brings more peace, brings more certainty, brings more clarity, brings more comfort? It's a whole different realm. Pardon me, guys. Whole different perspective. Sex can keep relationships walking in unity and on one accord. Sex is spiritual and it serves as an intimate form of worship and expressing desires towards one another in holy matrimony. Sex is intimate and it serves as an intimate form of worship when you're one with your partner, when you're intimate, intimacy, seeing into your partner, into your spouse. It brings a whole nother expression of desire towards one another in holy matrimony. Now, listen, sex is not manipulation and control, and we should not subject ourselves to being enslaved to anyone. In other words, don't manipulate the partner into having sex with you. Don't begin to try to control that person to have sex with you. You know, we start using scriptures that are befitting for us from the Bible. Like your body is not your own. Your body is your husband's, right? But we're one. We're one flesh. And if you're going to love me as Christ loved the church, then you should respect my body. You should respect my feelings. You should respect my essence of who I am and how I feel, right? So don't let it be manipulation and control to have what you want when you want it without any consideration for the other partner. It's not that. That's why I started off by saying sex can be used as a toy weapon to punish your partner, because that's what is being done in marriage unions. You know, I said this before marriage, we're there, you know, whether you had a partner before the person you married and you had sex prior to the person you're with now, or you had sex with your partner that you're married to now before getting married. You were doing all of the things. You were having the sex, right? You were having the experiences. You were being romantic and, you know, painting the picture and making the atmosphere so welcoming and so sensual, right? You were wearing all of the little lingerie and stuff. I know you're saying, Mary Jae, listen, we're too old for that now. Years have set in. It's a whole lot. Maybe that's not your thing. Maybe the pajamas is, and that's okay too. Whatever you want to wear, do you. But my point is, at the beginning of it, you were there. You were all in, right? You were ready to give it all. You had these beautiful bridal showers and all of this stuff, and you were wearing it. And now years have set and time has gone by, and everything has swindled downward. I understand. We read about it. We're getting ready to hit it in our next chapter. We're going to talk about it a little further. All of that stuff takes place. But when you think of it, when you think of marriage being honorable in the sight of God and the bed is undefiled, when you think about that, what do you think about? What do you think about when you think about that? Marriage being honorable in the sight of God. Now, if marriage is honorable in the sight of God, then anything outside of marriage is dishonorable. Anything that God will not be pleased with is dishonorable. What am I referring to? Pornography. When you start bringing other people in your bed with you, then your bed becomes defiled. When you start bringing other people in your union, then your union becomes corrupt. And anything that you bring in outside of the two of you, you've already caused division, because the two of you are one. So why are you worrying about what your mama said? Why are you trying to do it like your daddy did? Why are you trying to handle her the way you were handled? That you didn't like it. you bringing some old tradition, you bringing some old stuff in. Why you acting like your mama? Because she said she didn't do that, so you saying you're not doing it. You're not her. This not your daddy. All right. I'm not gonna. Okay. Let me continue. Sex is not manipulation and control, and we should not subject ourselves to be enslaved to anyone. This is the emotional abuse and been distorted in the minds of women for decades. Men are logical thinkers. Therefore, sex toys for men are usually not needed, and they simply require movement and more sex. Now, when we talk about sex toys and saying that for most men, sex toys are really not needed, they just need a naked body, they just need a woman. They are stimulated by their senses. They see, their sight, and like they're stimulated, right? Women, we need to go through the emotions, we need to go through the feelings, we need to go through the process of it. It takes us a little longer to warm up to get to that place of being aroused, right? Okay, so when I'm saying now, we might need some additives. We may need some lubricants. We may need some gels, some creams, those type of things to stimulate us to help us get there faster. But when we start talking about bringing all this other stuff, no, that's when it becomes corrupt. However, women are emotional feelers, and therefore, lots of foreplay is desired. That's what I'm talking about. In order to keep both partners satisfied, there is nothing wrong with lots of both. There's nothing wrong with a lot of chemistry, a lot of foreplay. There's nothing wrong with a lot of cuddling and a lot of kissing. There's nothing wrong with gels and ointments and oils. Nothing wrong with it at all. Enjoy intimacy with conversation, food, games, and lots of movement from different angles. Food. While you just finished eating dinner, and you still have a bite to eat, or you still have your favorite dessert or your glass of wine or whatever you desire to have, it's nothing wrong with it. Why am I teaching from this angle? Why am I so passionate about this subject? Because for many years it's been distorted, especially in the minds of Christian women and Christian men. It has been so distorted, it has been so smeared, and that's why I'm teaching from this perspective. Lots of movement and games. You can play games. Whatever you want to play. You can play games. You can have a conversation. You can say, is this good to you? Does this feel good? Am I satisfying you? Am I pleasing you? Does that hurt? Do you want to go this way or that? You can do that. And I know most of you that are on here that are mature, grown men and women that can do it. But what I'm saying, you already know, right? But why, when it comes to Christianity and the church, we don't deal with this? We deal with this like this is an off subject that should not even be discussed publicly. This is something that you should just discuss privately. You know why I feel that way? Because when I was married, my first marriage, I was 16 years old when I got married. Knew absolutely nothing about nothing much. And then when I grew up in the church and I started hearing about it's better to marry than to burn, it was a whole different perspective. I'm thinking like, wait, what? That's why I had to get married? Like, because I was going to burn and go to hell? Didn't understand. But that's all I heard, okay? And then coming up, and as I mature, you'll hear preachers preaching it from a whole different perception that it make you think that like you're a slave now. You're a slave and you're trapped and you can't do anything. And all that other stuff is just, hmm, Okay. All right. So I said enjoy intimacy with conversation, food, games, and lots of movement from different angles. By this time, all toys have hit the floor. You all understand what's happening now? The biggest kept secret sex toy. You want to know what it is? Are you ready for it? You ready? It's not deep at all. The biggest and greatest kept secret sex toy is, let me get in closely so you can hear it. Mutual submission. What an exuberating sensation. And that's the end of the chapter on sex toys, guys. Mutual submission, not control, not manipulation, not don't paint a picture of guilt and all of this other stuff and all of these images. Mutual submissions between the two people who has come together as one to unite in holy matrimony before a holy God, that says that the marriage is honorable in the sight of God and the bed is undefiled. But let me say this, even though I'm talking as it relates to sex, because I am a Christian, I am a holy woman of God. Again, I practice abstinence. I have not dated in years. I don't even know the last time I really actually been on a real date. I don't know. I really don't. Honestly, I can guess, but I'm not sure. It's been that long, and it have not been something that's been in the forefront of my mind that I've been concerned about, to have to count the dates and the numbers of knowing when. But I am very confident in who I am. I'm very secure in who I am. I understand my self-worth and my self-value. I'm not feeling like my clock is ticking, and if I don't get married, I'm going to, be done. I'm not drying up and withering away. I'm 55, guys. I'll be 55 July 23rd. And I am just like so excited about life. I'm not thinking about, now some might say, well, Mary Jae, you've been married before. Of course you're not thinking about it, but it's not something to really be concerned about. Because if you just keep living life on purpose, if that is a part of your purpose, that's a part of the process. So it will come. And so many women continue to ask when, how long, what I have to do. My idea, and I'm sharing this with you because we're on this space and we're talking about sex toys, but my idea of a mate, of finding me, he would find me working for the Lord. He would find me doing what I do for God. I'm not trying to be deep and religious and all of that, but I want to be serving God. And while I'm doing that, and my path is going to cross his path, we're going to connect, we're going to unite. I'm not looking for nobody today. I'm not looking to be out there looking for someone to take me out to dinner. I enjoy my own company. I love me. I enjoy me. Now, if we cross path and there's mutual interest spiritually, intellectually, right? If there's mutual interest there, economically, socially, physically, if all of that is we're on one accord, then yeah, I would take time out to maybe see what else is there in that person. But as far as open myself up to a man to lay down just for him to release in me, to penetrate me for an orgasm, are you kidding me? Are you really serious? That's it? That's what I'm waiting for? You gotta be out your mind. Oh my God. You gotta be cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. If you think that your life as a woman or even as a man, because we put all of these emphasis on women, especially, to think that it's just about somebody being with you, laying with you, penetrating you, and getting an orgasm, and you having a date, and going out to dinner is life, and you feel that you are identified through having someone on your arm or saying you with someone or in love, if that's all life and purpose is to you, I am sorry. I am sorry, because evidently you don't understand the value that you have. You don't understand the essence that you have. I know we get entangled. I know sometimes we miss it. I know sometimes our emotions get the best of us, and sometimes we lose hope, and sometimes we just be so broken and in our feelings that we get caught up, because I've been there. I've been there. I've been there. But I'm telling you, when you come to yourself and you understand your purpose and your worth and where you're going and where you're headed, all that other stuff doesn't even matter. But when it comes, the right person at the right time, and you're on the right path, and the two of you have those mutual interests and goals, stop settling, stop lowering the bar, stop coming down to someone else's standard just so you can be a part of what they have to offer. No, we're looking for matured men and matured women who are spiritual and grounded and understand the essence of who they are and whose they are. That's the end of the chapter, guys, of sex toys. I hope you were intrigued on tonight. I hope you were. You can find the scripture references at the end of the chapter of sex toys. You can jot these down for those of you that may not have the book. You want to go back and read all of that I was reading about edible ointments, gels, creams, all of that stuff. Listen, guys, it's sensual, but it's nothing wrong with it. I wish I can drive that we can understand spiritual and sensual can come together. It's okay. It's okay. Let's go to these references. Song of Solomon. Solomon talked about it the entire time of all of my teaching here. First John 2 and 16, First Corinthians 6 and 19, First Corinthians 7 and 4, First Peter 3 and 1, Ephesians 5:21 and 22, Romans 12 and 16. If you have any questions, I'm open for Q&A, guys. If not, that's the end of that. Thank you. Thank you for wishing me a happy birthday. My birthday is this Saturday, guys. I can't wait. I'm looking forward to my 55. Double grace. Double grace coming my way. Double grace. I feel it already. Thank God for it. But listen, if you don't have any questions, we're past an hour. We've been on here already an hour. That's been really fast. So next week, guys, is chapter 6. We're going to go forth on next week in chapter 6. Chapter 6. I'm sorry, I said chapter 6. I'm in chapter 8. I'm going backwards. Chapter 8. Let me pull it up for you. If I can get faster this way. Needs, wants, and desires. Chapter 8 on tomorrow. Needs, wants, and desires. We'll be finished all of the chapters by Friday, and my birthday will be that Saturday. Okay, I look forward to you all sharing with you all again needs, wants, and desires on tomorrow. So share, invite a friend. If you're just coming in, go back and press the replay. Uh, Somebody named Kevin Williamson, I need to give you a birthday dance before my next show. Okay, what's your next show, Kevin? A birthday dance before my next show. Okay, you have a show. I hope you're doing your birthday dance to right. I don't know what kind of dance you're talking about. Hopefully it's a happy dance and not anything else. I'm not sure, and I apologize. I don't mean to offend or insult. I'm not sure what you mean by that, and I'm not quite sure who you are. So hopefully it's a happy dance that you're talking about. Not anything else. All right. All right, everybody. Love you. Thank you, Kevin, for dropping in. You all go back and listen in for sex toys on chapter 7. go back and listen in, and I'll see you all on tomorrow. You can go back and share. You can go back and share as well. Share as well. You're welcome, love. You're welcome, beautiful. Share, and I'll see you on tomorrow night for our next chapter, chapter 8, needs, wants, and desires, guys. So I'll see you all on tomorrow. I hope you've been intrigued on tonight thus far. I hope you have been intrigued in this conversation. Have you? Have you been intrigued? Let's see. I think somebody else is commenting. Okay, I just wanted to make sure that I didn't leave anybody out. I didn't miss anybody. Double nickels. Yes, double nickels. That's right. 5 5. And you know what a 5 5 is? It's a 10, baby. It's a 10. All right, my sweetheart. Love you much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, ladies. Thank you. Love you too, Monique. Love and blessings to you all as well. All right, guys and girls, thank you all for dropping in, and I hope once again you've been intrigued. I'll see you all on tomorrow, same place, same time, 7 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time.